Could you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. Sadar Shaukat Ali Kashmiri, Nasir Bhai, thank you UKPNP for inviting me to your conference. Dear friends and activists, good afternoon. For many years and decades, some of us have made the UNHRC our second home, trying to raise the issues of life in exile of people whose countries have been occupied by a larger neighbor. We came to the heart of Europe, hoping that those who have plundered our people and land stand exposed before the delegates of major powers of the East, West, Europe, and the Americas, to a continent that witnessed the horrors of the Second World War and the Holocaust, when millions died fighting the Nazis' hordes of Hitler, so that the cry of never again echoes across the mountains, rivers, valleys of Europe, and became an example for the rest of us from Africa, Asia, and Latin America, seeking liberty from dictators and occupiers. However, today we see Europe back on the path of destruction and a war as Russia seeks to stop the expansion of NATO and Ukraine wishes to embrace the European Union. Refugees, exiled political activists have long sought safe haven of Europe to raise their own flags of liberty and freedom, inspired by philosophers and revolutionaries, be it the French or the Bolshevik. Tragically, war and suffering has come back to Europe, and millions of refugees are on the move, seeking safety for their families and children. Though it must be mentioned that even as these new refugees flee to safety, their race and skin color still determine how they are treated at border crossings and security checkpoints. The infamous words of categorized the fleeing refugees as black or blue-eyed blondes is not a figment of our imagination, the real words of spoken by a man of authority. Having said that, the call for an end to occupation and withdrawal of invading armies in Europe gives us some hope that Europe and the West recognize our cries for freedom when we talk of Pakistan's occupation of Balochistan, Kashmir, Turkey's occupation of Kurdistan and Cyprus, or West Papua asking to get their freedom from Indonesia. On the other side of the world, Western Sahara seeks freedom from Morocco's occupation, and countries such as Mali and Burkina Faso seek freedom from the tyranny of religious laws rooted 1,400 years old doctrine where human life has no value. I hope the tragedy unfolding in Eastern Europe will get resolved at the peace table, not on the killing fields of Crimea, to settle the medieval claims of sovereignty going back to centuries. As an exile in Europe, my hope is for freedom, not just for the people of Ukraine and Russia, but for the people of Balochistan and Kashmir, and the Kurdistani people, as well as we are judged by our actions, not by our color of our skin, religion, or the forefathers, or the language of our mothers who nursed us to be better sons and daughters than those who have given us war and occupation. I thank you very much.